to be here. Thank you very much. Green is my favorite color. I felt like I walked into a large goddess room of my favoriteness right here. Thank you. So I have been teaching for 28 years. I taught K-8, kindergarten through 8th grade, Orff Silberg, right, like 38 kids in one room. Hello, fifth kindergartners, yeah. They don't even speak English, so, you know. And now I teach now I teach high school for the last 6 years of my life, which I absolutely love. So I feel very fortunate to have kind of all ages, and I have a 21-year-old daughter, soon to be 22, and my son is 19. And they've given me the best gift of learning about how to be calm and loving and all those wonderful things, and love them back and let them love me. So they're my best educators, actually. They're best teachers to me. But let's get up and let's play a little bit. So I am all about percussion. I'm really a classical flute player. You'll know more about that. But we're going to move our bodies a little bit. So I'll need you to stand up. Yeah. Because the entire concept of here, I'm going to help you understand a little bit more about Orff. How many of you have ever taken an Orff Silberg levels class before? Anyone? Wonderful. So you have an idea and a concept. Okay. So let me have this group right here. Can you do me a favor and keep the beat in your feet? Good. Where else could you place the beat? Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you alternate your hands? Here we go. Awesome. Thank you. You are the beat keepers. Do not lose that. You got it? Awesome. Okay. This group right here, can you create a pattern that is a rhythm pattern then? So not a beat pattern, that's rhythm. And I would like you kind of to hone in on the rhythm pattern. This group together, you're going to create a rhythm pattern together as a team. And I'm not going to tell you how long it is. It's up to you guys. You will kind of normalize yourselves to find a rhythm pattern. And you will normalize yourselves to find a rhythm pattern. And that means as a one large group, you will figure out what to do, okay? Okay? Okay, now you have a task over here, this group. So they're creating patterns. Great. Now you have to find a pattern that's complementary to that, that's not anywhere near that. So there are opportunities, there are windows of opportunities. Hold on. A little quiet. Keep it going. Hey, you beat people. Can you walk around the room and keep it too? Excellent. Keep a little quiet. Thank you. So you have a job now. You're going to create a pattern with your body as one team. And find the windows of opportunity where there's a little bit of silence, where more rhythm could be heard. Like there's a spot, right? And a different timbre than a clap. Okay, so get closer together. Keep on going, beat people. Okay, so they started clapping first. Now you can't use clap. So you get to use something else besides clap. And if you want to change it, you can. It's up to you what your pattern is. If you want to change the level of body percussion, you can. Yeah. Beat people, feel free to use your levels. High, middle, and low with your body as you go. It's up to you. This is so good. Oh, hello. Now what I'd like you to do is adjust your dynamics. Maybe your dynamics might get louder, or they may get quieter. But I don't want to conduct this, so I'm going to let you do it. I bet that's me, because I can't be here. Is that better? You got it? Okay. Good. Beat people, I love what you're doing, but quit following one another. Can you move away from the others? Yes, you've been trained so well by yourselves. This is very good. Good. You got something? Lovely. Let me hear a little bit louder. Can you play something a little louder so we can hear it? It's so hard. Yes? Oh, could? Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes. What about inflection? Ah. What about vocal, too? You could do that with body percussion. So something. Duck, 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 duck. You were doing this. Duck, 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 duck. Use your mouth. Yeah, there we go. Good, beat people. Can you make a word now out of your beat instead of just keeping the beat? Can you find a word that you can speak to the beat? It could be ice cream, or sandy. Oh, yes. Yes, happy. Good, can you walk around that word? Around with that, please? And I love your inflection with it too, yes. going. Now you have this lovely pattern as a team. Can you create a rhythmic words to go with it? And then walk around the room with it, okay?
Happy birthday.
So how we do it? Oh, yes. Woo! Excellent. Start walking around the room. Oh, and when you get to the woo part, can you like jump up? Woo! Yeah, go for it. You're on, you're on. Go for it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Excellent. Walk around with it. Excellent. That's where. Now mix it up. I love these smiles. This is fantastic. Find someone who does not have your pattern. Go find someone who does not have your pattern. Good. Look at somebody right across from you who does not have your pattern. Freeze with a person or two or three. Hold your own independent pattern. And walk away from that person. Find a new person. Getting louder. Here we go. Getting louder. Getting louder. Getting louder. Get ready. 1, 2. Ready and stop. Yes. Give yourselves a hand. Excellent. Yes. Come on back to your spot. We are going to be standing in a second, but that gives you an idea. What did you hear? What did you feel? What did you see? What did you think? Teacher brain. Dave, let me ask you, where is a bad spot for me to cross? Okay. So sorry, you guys, I'm getting feedback, and that was, okay. What did you hear? What did you feel? What did you think? What did you see? Fun, and, yes. Happy and creativity. Composing, yes. I'm sorry? Multiphonics, yes.
Together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was an internal pulse, definitely. And the beat, how did I start it off? With the beat, right? Because that is that one thing we have to instill continuously, or they won't be able to do anything. Or when it gets to your wedding, like I had to do, I had to lead the dance with my dad because he had no internal pulse. Like, let me lead, I'm doing that for you. Okay, so it's important that we always do that with the students. So also think about in composition. It was definitely multi-level, right? So you had multiple timbres, and we had a thicker texture. Think of the elements of music. We had the beat, we had rhythm. We actually had multiple timbres, so you could say there was pitch, there was inflection with it. If you were to create melodies with that, you would suddenly get harmony. But we had definite rhythmic components to it. And we had pitch, absolutely had pitch, because every group, it was interesting, had a different pitch about them. It might have been low, middle, or high, or inflections. So think of all the musical things. The whole aspect of Orff Schulwerk is how to get the students to be the composers, and what is my end in mind. So if my end in mind is to get the students to understand beat and concept of rhythm with beat, and what are we doing at the body percussion, and how we're going to create that. So I'm always understanding by knowing what students should know and be able to do. That is my end in mind. And then from back, I go back. Okay, so it's understanding to tune in, which I love the name of the symposium. I was very excited about that because I'm always trying to tune into the group. In my room at school, in my room, walking into the teacher's lounge, walking into this space. It's trying to tune in and figure out, where am I? How do I fit? And what do I need to receive from this as well as give? That's important for us because I think that happens with children. And as a teacher, what am I going to receive from this child as much as what am I going to give this child? I think that's huge. And I'm sure every day as teachers, you feel that. Do you receive from them as much? You go, yeah, thanks for that lesson. I'll remember to do that better tomorrow. That's so important for us. It's also understanding where are they creatively. As Orff Schulwerk teachers, really my palette's blank. I know where I want them to go. I might have a set piece of music, But how I'm going to facilitate them to get there might very well be child-driven first. And that I have to be present to that child to figure this out. And that might be from age 4. It might be my 7-year-old student, because I teach the Orff process in my ensembles. I have, well, you'll see, but I have 2 steel drum ensembles, and I teach in that way. It's very different in my methodology. So this is quantum learning, and that's gone. Now you're not going to see it anymore. Okay, I'm blacking that out, because otherwise it gives you all the answers. So quantum learning, are you familiar with quantum learning? It is just this neatest process. It's allowing the student to learn in multimodalities, which, okay, we're musicians, we understand that. But it's also giving them some rote process to it and helping them hone in on some words. So I'm going to teach you the elements of music very fast in the next 10 minutes. And you're going to have all these words so that from this point forward, and I do this first grade on, even my high school students do this because I need them to have my language. So whatever we're teaching them, there is academic language to it. Because, how many of you grew up with American Bandstand? Oh my God, I'm going to date myself. Here we go. American Bandstand. So they would get up there. So sorry you guys didn't experience this on a Saturday morning, but they had little 45s. Dick Clark, rest his soul. Dick Clark had little 45 records up there, and he would have these people dancing. And they'd pull up 2 people from the audience, and they would go, and Dick goes, what do you rate the record? And he goes, Dick, I give that 45 a 98. And Dick goes, why? And he goes, it has a great beat. And I'm thinking, that guy has no clue what he's talking about, right? Because if that's all he's getting out of this, he has no language for it. So we have to give them the language for that. Because if we do anything, it better be that they're literate when they get out in the world. You're out, right? Literacy is important. And there's nothing worse than not giving them that tools. They are capable at any age to have the language. Any language. I always think of my daughter. I still don't believe in guns, sorry, but I'm just putting that out there right now. But my daughter loved the movie Pocahontas. She could say Pocahontas, da-da-da-da, like that. I never really taught her the word for gun, because that was stupid, I'm telling you right now. But my mother called, and she was like 3.5, and she said, Marissa, how are you doing? And Marissa says, I'm great. I've been watching the movie Pocahontas. Okay, Pocahontas, right? 4 syllables, easy. She could learn any word. And she goes, and we're right in that place where they get those killing things. My mother goes, put your mother on the phone. Have you not taught her the word gun yet? She goes, she can learn any word, and that's a good thing to know. And I thought, oh my God, she's so right. Yeah, okay, it's a gun. Okay, it's a gun. Yeah, it's a gun. but you have to use the language for them to use it. Okay, weird example, but there we go. So stand up, here we go. Pocahontas, that killing thing. Taught her the word Barbie, that didn't help her. Okay, here we go. Okay, so whatever I do, you do. You might need to push your chairs in because you're gonna be up and moving, and you're gonna get some feedback on my mic. Here we go. Okay, whatever I do, you do. So my inflection as well as my body motion. And we're going to start a little bit on this side, and we'll be moving towards that. Part of quantum learning is that you're using your body, inflection, and you always move to a new location. Here we go. There was a brilliant. Excellent. There was a brilliant marshmallow. Go for it.
There was a brilliant marshmallow.
Yes, and you moved. Excellent. Here we go, back to the beginning. There was a brilliant, go for it. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit. Yep, here we go, back to the beginning. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch. Yes, beginning, here we go. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. And text. Okay, this is for us, okay? Here we go, ready? Yeah, you have to have the hip. It's a whole body posture thing. Here we go. There was a brilliant, let me do that again. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called on his best friend the dinosaur. Ready? He called on his best friend the dinosaur. Beginning. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called on his best friend the dinosaur and said, hey, let's go tickle. And said, hey, let's go tickle. Beginning. Here we go. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called in his best friend, the dinosaur, and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend, the python. Our friend, the... Okay, I just want to tell you, I taught that in high school, and all the guys went, nice. And it went, oh my God, I can't do that with you guys. Okay, new word, right here. For them, yeah. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called in his best friend, the dinosaur, and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend, the python. They thought it was so funny. They thought it was so funny. You are also wonderful. I'm holding my mic here, and you're doing that too. You don't have to hold yourself there. I'm just doing this so I don't get this thing, right? So, thank you. You don't have to hold your chest. Here we go. Ready? There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called in his best friend, the dinosaur, and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend, the python. They thought it was so funny. Suddenly they stopped and they actively listened. Suddenly they stopped and they actively listened. Beginning. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called in his best friend, the dinosaur, and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend, the python. They thought it was so funny. Suddenly they stopped and they actively listened. They heard someone yell, timber! They heard someone yell, timber! Last one. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. He called in his best friend, the dinosaur, and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend, the python. They thought it was so funny. Suddenly they stopped and they actively listened. They heard someone yell, timber! They said, we better climb out of this dream. They said, we better climb out of this dream. So with quantum learning, it's bizarre stories that make it cement in. I've done this with first grade, and I've done it with 5 and 4-year-olds, and they get the story. They love the craziness of it, but let me explain what happens here. So there are the words. Incredible. That would be the next one for improvisation. This incredible dream. Okay, there was a brilliant, that's the whole thing you memorized. And there were the elements. There was a brilliant marshmallow rabbit who liked to play hopscotch and text. They called their best friend the dinosaur and said, hey, let's go tickle our friend the python. They thought it was so funny. Suddenly they actively listened. They heard someone yell, timber, which is timbre. And they said, we better climb out of this dream, but you can put incredible dream in there as well. So that is a way to get the words for us. I went all the way through college, and no one taught me the elements of music. Did that happen? Did that happen to you as well? I was shocked. I was shocked. I get to my first job as an elementary music teacher. They said, well, we're going to teach the elements. I'm going, oh my God, what are the elements of music? I don't know. I'm going through textbooks trying to figure them out. No one laid them out for me, ever. And I had great teachers. I had a great education. And it wasn't until I realized, oh, because it's a whole different, really how I taught was not how I was going to teach. How I was taught is not how I was going to teach. Only in the moment, research has proven, only in the moment of high stress, you know those hyperspiration moments? In the moment of high stress, we fall back on, automatically, how we were taught music. It's not pretty for me. I had great teachers, but it was boring. It was lecture, and it was just kind of sing the song. So anytime you feel like, oh my God, what's going on? You're falling apart, you have to think, don't go back to how you were taught. You have to go think of what is best for this next student. So I never had the elements, and that's sad. Okay, so here's my upbringing. Okay. Yeah, you can have a seat. This is a long story. Okay. So you see this girl right here? I wanted to play the flute, but I had fallen, and I had my tooth was not in great shape. Mrs. Hanson said, you can't play the flute. I said, fine. Okay. So she said, okay, but you'll play drum. I didn't want to play drum. I want to play raindrops keep falling on my head. I want to play flute. So I couldn't, my dad couldn't keep beat. My mother was thrown out of a band. She's Cuban, and she was thrown out of a band in Havana because she couldn't play tambourine. How bad is that, right? So they said, okay, we have to play drum. Well, I was so bad. My mother still has the dresser from where I threw the drumsticks on the bottom of the dresser. Boom, because I hated it so much. I lived in Northeast Iowa. My dad taught at university, and I had to haul that drum about 2 miles in the snow, and I'm not kidding. That's a real story. I was so bad that I had eventually Mrs. Hanson leaned over to me and she goes, you know, I don't think music is for you. And I was kicked out. A killer. But thankfully, my dad got a job in Denver, Colorado, so we got to move. And I started once again. Yes, right, Denver? Yeah, Boulder. Okay, so, and then without telling one, I said, I'm going to play the flute. That's what I wanted to do originally. So I get to the flute, and those stupid notes showed up again. Same notes the drum had. They didn't tell me it was going to be the same thing. I thought different instruments, different notes, going to be a good thing. No, not at all. And I was so bad at the flute that Mr. Mueller, who used to have saliva strings between his bottom and top lip, yeah, right, swapping his little thick baton on the podium. He looked at me at the Christmas concert. I was wearing my blue dress my grandmother had made for me, and he goes, I know, front row. I could feel the tears well up in my eyes are coming down. They're pooling on this dress. Apparently it was a waterproof dress because when I stand up, they all roll down. But I thought, okay, this is not, my dad and mom aren't going to move again. I'm stuck here. I've got to figure this out. No one ever taught me how to read a note. So I threw that band book on this ochre color carpet in the 1970s, and I figured out how to read. Oh, a note that's colored in is different from a note that's empty. Aha. No one told me that. And if it's a different line or space, that's something else. So I became this phenomenal technician, so phenomenal that I practiced like 16 hours a day. And then when I went to the University of Colorado, you can't tell in these lovely androgynous, whatever they are, I'm right there, but you know, women were supposed to be men at that time in the 1980s. So at the University Marching Band, because I was the only, they'd never had a female drum major before. So I got to play that role. It was hell. So when I got, there I am again, right? So you can't even tell what I am. But I was a technician. Now, counterintuitive to all this, my flute teacher was Barbara Grenoble, who was one of the lead people who brought Orff to the United States in Denver. But she taught me as she taught flute. So she taught me how to be a technician. Then when I was 15, she goes, you know, I'm doing this work at University of Denver. Why don't you come and take level 1? So when I was 15, I did level 1 Orff. When I was 16, I did level 2. And then as a graduate student, I went back and did 2 and 3. And then my world started to change. And I went, oh, it's not about that. It's not just about that. It's about how do I become a whole musician. I was only taught black note on white paper. And that did me no good when I had to have students in my room and I had to teach them about music, because I was only taught in one way. Finally, through Orff and understanding the student as a whole learner, did I get it. So here is when I taught K-8. There's like 130 4th, 5th, and 6th graders in Orff instruments. And I had my own percussion ensemble in middle schools. It was a K-8 school, luckily. And they would compose all their own music. They would put on shows that was 100% their music, because I was really into composition, because my thought is, anyone can read the black note. Great. So what am I going to do to instill them to be, here's my big umbrella. This is it for me. Are going to be a lifelong musician, period. Because 85% of the kids quit high school music and they put their instrument away once they graduate. That's killer. We give them this lovely culture and this joy, and then they stop. Who are the kids that continue? Kids who play piano, kids who play guitar, kids who plays bass, someone whose parent was an angel and bought them a drum set and they put it in the garage. Seriously, those are the kids that continue. So when I got to be a founding faculty of this new high school, this is my steel, I teach now 3 levels of steel drum ensemble. Because I've studied world percussion now for the last 20 years. So that's like 80 kids. That's a lot of steel drum, I'm just saying. We go in with earplugs. We are earplugged. This is my top group. And these kids pick their own music, and I teach them how to arrange. Very beginning, from the very beginning, because steel drum doesn't exist anywhere in my area at all. I have kids that are walking in as entry-level musicians. And that was my goal at the school, was how do I get the kids who are not tracked because they had fortunate parents that bring them to you, right? How do I get kids that are not tracked that in middle school to play a band? What if they never played in middle school band? You're done with music education? Oh my God, have we failed the kid or what? So that was going to be my beginning group. And so I teach them how to rearrange. This is where all the gifts that you do with your lessons, I got online, I was very excited to look at all your lessons and watch the videos. These lessons are what are going to make these lifelong musicians. Because it is through the process of getting them to be the composers will they take your skills and begin to apply and grow into larger musicians. Does that make sense? Because you're teaching them play at this point. This is my top group. So we just closed our concert a week and a half ago. I don't know, do you guys know Tool? Okay, we close with 46 and 2, which is crazy hard. And they arrange it. I mean, they arrange every single piece. We open with John Williams, you know, orchestral pieces they arrange. I teach them all about harmony. I teach them how to read chords. They got everything that I never got in high school and that I never got in college, ever. Oh, you don't need to know that chord. You're just the flute player. Thank you very much. So I had to learn all that stuff on my own as an educator to get it to that point. But if you teach the kids from the very beginning what a chord is, root, position, inversion, bless you, because then they're walking into a program where they can learn and apply their skills. That's huge. So I teach us in the Orff process way. Talk to me about the piece. What chords do you hear? Play that chord. There's a minor chord. Oh, play a major chord. Great. How do we do that? What sounds best? What are your dynamics? I do shared leadership in my ensemble. I can walk out of there and any kid can lead that group. So they're making the final call. They're making the decision. When they walk on that stage to perform, it's 100% theirs. It's their arrangements, everything. So they walk out going, God, I feel like I just ran a marathon. And we did. And we did, yeah. Okay, so I want you to watch a little bit of a background. I'm going to tell you right now, I am the anomaly. You don't find a high school teacher teaching the Orff-Schubert process. You don't. And I get pushback from all of these high school men. Sorry, Rich, sorry. But really, I get serious pushback because they are all about, well, it's, you know, they've got to do this and this and this, and you need to have this arranger. Yeah, except their kids quit the day of graduation. And I'm guaranteeing you, my kids aren't. Because they're audio engineers, because they have their own bands, because they go illegally and busk on the pier in Oceanside, because they do, but they're making music all the time. They never quit. And they pick up everything from guitars to, they can play anything because we've given them the fundamental, right? So you're giving your students the fundamental, and because of that, you're creating lifelong musicians. Never forget that. Okay, here's Orff.
Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, let me taste your ware. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Say Simple Simon to the pieman, let me taste your ware. La 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 la.
It was a lovely video. AOSA puts that out. Those are not my students. This is from the AOSA, just or the website. So this is what we know, and we can stop it. Let's go to the next. Oh, I actually am controlling that. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what is the currency of the 21st century? Creativity. That's it. It is creativity, that is going to be the most important thing. You've seen Shift Happens, the video before, where it talks about we're teaching students right now for jobs that don't even exist. That's crazy. I've got kids that right now started college, like 3 years ago, and the job that they wanted doesn't even exist anymore in the company they thought for sure they were going to work in. It's compressed so much. And I'm thinking for you long term, because the skills that you're giving them are so important. It's not just about music. I always hate this when they call this the character ed stuff. I always hate it when they call soft skills, because those aren't soft skills, because they make us the hard person. They make us the good person. Those are the skills that you're never, ever going to, no one can ever take those skills away from you. I always think about also my mother, who was right in the middle of the whole Castro thing. She couldn't get out of Cuba. And she said, you know, the one thing, Anne, that changed my life was education. No one can ever take that away, what's inside your brain. No one can ever take away the very concept that you're giving them music every single day of their lives. That's huge. Because of those skills, in addition to music, think of what you do right now in your classroom that is considered, quote unquote, again, let me say a character ed skill. What are some of the skills you give right now? Discipline, confidence. Confidence was yes. Compassion, passion, yes. Cooperation. Respect. Yep. It's a dual character ed lesson. It really is. You cannot perform and be in an ensemble of music and not have that whole package running at the same time. Those are then, if you right now can think of a child's name who might not have that package going for you, and those are your discipline issues, right? That's why you have to keep them there. Come on, I can get you. It's going to come in some way, but I'm going to get you through music, hopefully. Think of those skills. That's huge for us. It's a large package besides the notes, besides all of that. That's very important. So Karl Orff, a composer, and the word Schulwerk, which is schooling, working through being active and creative at the same time. So it's not just one concept. It's not just playing. That piece of music you heard them play was through composed. The quality teacher would have taught it in the Orff Schulwerk process, though. This would be a very sad quality Orff Schulwerk teacher if they would say, okay, we're going to perform that piece for our parents, and here is the open fifth, and here is the beat, and here are the parallel thirds. I keep on popping, sorry. Boom, 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 and you just rote teach it. If you're rote teaching it to an end of a performance, that's not Orff Schulwerk. That's teaching a piece of music as you were taught, or as I was taught in the 1970s. That's like saying, here's your music and learn your score. And, you know, in band, here's your flute part, do it. That's not Orff Schulwerk. But teaching that with their bodies and singing and having the students create movement to create the form, that's Orff Schulwerk. Just because someone used an Orff instrument doesn't mean they're an Orff teacher, and that's important to know. Oh yeah, I'm an Orff teacher, here are my Orff instruments. Yeah, what do you do with those things? Talk to me about that. Because I use steel drums, so, you know, it's all different. It's creative music and movement through which children make music and make meaning. And through the videos that I've seen in your organization, your students are making meaning through their movement. They're making meaning through understanding the content of music, and I think that's very valuable. Because the next time they reach up to grab their t-shirt in the closet somewhere, what do you think they're going to think? Wow, that's kind of like a high note. Don't you? I'm sure they're going there. I don't think they're going to learn. They're going to keep that in isolation. That's very rare. So I encourage you to always think of it like that too, because that's the important part, is the connection. Here's a great example for a connection. When I was teaching K-8, I was a visual and performing art. God, sound like I had alcohol this morning. I have not yet. Okay, visual and performing arts school. Excuse me, I'm revealing too much. Okay. Visual and Performing Arts School, and I was the Orff Schulwerk teacher K-8. And literally down the dirt, where the third grade buildings were, was the band room. And I want to talk to you right now about teaching to transfer. So as an Orff Schulwerk teacher, we play, we create, there's notating, everything. And this kid in fourth grade goes, wait a minute, Miss Fennell. What? You mean those are the same notes that the band teacher uses? I was not teaching to transfer. The band teacher was not teaching to transfer. But if you continue to use all of the words that you use and you see and they talk about balloon, you're automatically teaching to transfer. You're getting them to understand that it's not just about this, that it's a larger picture. Teaching to transfer within your teaching is superb. Okay, developmental approach to learning music. It addresses the child's powers or their learning capabilities. My son, and I use him, he knows this, I use him quite often in my workshops, he has multiple learning disabilities. He taught me about auditory discrimination skills, and which prompted research that I ended up doing through the US Department of Education, in that music supports auditory discrimination skills, and students gain them at different times in their lives. He also taught me that he couldn't read words, but only through word blocks. That means, okay, how does the word the look? T-H-E, right? So high, high, low, or high, middle, however you want to do it. And I thought, God, what a different perspective in that. His power, his strength at that moment was this way. It was so opposite of what they were teaching in public school that I'd figured a way for him to learn. And I ended up doing it through music, trying to figure out how could he hear that. So I would know developmentally at his point in stage was where he was with that at that learning moment. And also, for example, where they are visually, because we'll have young people that won't even realize, and they've got visual issues. My son had visual, auditory, speech, you name it. He came with a large suitcase. So we had this large suitcase of understanding that the visual part was huge from Toot. Tracking left to right is one thing. Tracking left to right and high and low, holy cow, wasn't going to happen. Unless I could actually do this with him. And developmentally, he worked with it. We also had therapists work with him on this, but he had to know where it was happening from left to right. How are you going to work with that student? Some students get that developmentally quickly. Some students it's not developmental, it's just part of who they are. Some students might struggle forever on it. So in the Orff process, I'm able to work with that and say, okay, where are you? Talk to me. Oh, you're getting 2 lines on your staff because their eyes are jumping so much. 2 lines are what they can hold on to, or 1 might be it. So it's not a series of lessons that we apply and teach the same way, nor an outcome of a performance as an ends. And that's important for you to know because it's different by different teachers. So whatever your strength is as a teacher, and I'm sure you find this in Let's Play Music, you might be very, very strong in one section, and you enjoy that creative moment with those students more than someone else. So as a teacher, I get to kind of approach it. I know my end in mind is, but I'm going to approach it differently, looking at my students. It's a process of making music guided by the teacher through creative play that reveals the composer within. Carl Orff is all about the composer, because everyone's going to be a composer. Here's the biggest one. So I was asked to do a keynote presentation in Shanghai this coming October for 800 music supervisors. And yesterday in my download and debrief of what I will be talking about it, they only teach music to those who show up gifted. So if you're not on a high music level with them, like as a kid, like you might have perfect pitch, or you can echo something back, yeah, you just don't get it. What a travesty is that? Think of all the children you have that you see their future becoming pianists or becoming lifelong musicians and what you're doing for these students. Here's the sad part that they might be missing, and they've asked me, they've hired me on to talk about the whole musician and how to go about that, that biogenetically we are all predisposed to do this. That's the great thing. What is the first interval that every human sings in the world? Yeah, and then? Na, 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 right? So you have every single human gets that. Unfortunately, there are some cultures that might not think that that's even quality. We think of the whole child. At this age, it's very important, all the way through high school. So we're going to play a little bit. We're going to compose. So what I would like us to do, you have these little sheet protectors. These are my whiteboards, my cheap whiteboards that I use. They're great because you can erase them and pull them back. And we have dry erase markers too. What we're going to do first is write an 8-count pattern. And this is what I don't know, and forgive me. Do you use syllabication when you're using 8th notes and quarter notes? I know Orff, we use ta.
We use bugs.
Oh, bugs. Okay, so give me your bugs. Beetle.
Grasshopper.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm just translating my language here. Okay, what's quarter note? Bug. Beetle. Got it. Okay, and 16th notes? Caterpillar. Okay, me from California, I'm like, California. Okay, caterpillar. Bug, beetle, caterpillar. Gotcha. Okay, and what do you do for rest? Is there any specific? Okay. Wonderful. Using bug, beetle, and caterpillar, and a. That's great. I feel like so powerful. Okay, so you at your table, can you create, let me back up. I would like us to create one group piece first. So if you want to write something down on there, you can. Yeah, and I didn't bring enough, I apologize. My classroom isn't full of 70 people, thank God. But so what I would like you to do is we're going to make one large ensemble one first. You will be in small groups pretty soon, but let's do one large ensemble. So I will need something to write with. I'm going to grab this, I'm going to grab this. Okay, so what would you like to start as one large ensemble rhythm that the entire group is going to compose and use? You give me your word. How about we start with bug? Yeah. Okay. Oh, ooh, and you're even ahead. I love that. Hold on to that melody. This is fabulous. This is good. Okay, bug, caterpillar. Okay, I'm writing this down. Yeah, oh, we're going there. Bug, caterpillar, right? Here we go. I don't know if you use stick notation or with note heads, but I'm just going to quickly use the note heads, okay? Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle. Okay. Can you say that? Here we go. Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle. Excellent. And what do you want next? Something different now. Rest. Rest or grasshopper? Okay, so 2/16, is that correct? Okay. Thank you. Okay, bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper. Grasshopper, rest. Butterfly, got it. Butterfly. Thank God. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Go. Let's all say it. Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bug. Good. I'm going to ask you not to make any sound during the rest of this time. Ready? And you go. And bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bug. Yes, if you want to write this down quickly on your note paper somewhere, it might help you out. You don't have to use the squares yet. Okay, now, what we're going to do as a team, I'm going to lower this so I can use this. Now we're going to create a percussion ensemble for it. A percussion, not an ensemble, but a layered percussion piece that we're going to use. It's going to be our A section of our rondo. So you've just written the rondo section, the A section to our rondo for our body percussion piece that we're going to write. Got it? Super. Stand up and find a partner. Take your music with you. We're going to do like a hand jive, hand game to this. Caterpillar. Oh my gosh. How am I doing on time? Okay, here we go. So a hand jive, a hand game. What could you do first on the word bug? Together, ready, and you go. Boom. Yes, excellent. We're going to move fast on this, so I might not be able to take everyone's ideas. So we've got bug. What do you want to do for caterpillar now? Trust me, something simple, man. Can we go that fast though? Yeah. Bum, decka, bum. Oh, on your legs? Absolutely, here we go. Marla's suggesting legs. I'm for the leg. Thank you. Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar. Okay, and the next one is? Bug. Ready? Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug. Great, stop. What have you just done? You took bug, and every time you came to bug, it's now what note? A quarter note, and it's also the pat. Let's normalize ourselves with that, right? So that we always know we're going to come back to that for the quarter note. That's a good thing, okay? You're also creating anchoring for the students when you do that. Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar, Oh, beetle. Love it. Ready? And you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle. Yes. Do it again. Go. And bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle. Excellent. What are you going to do for the teefy, or the grasshopper? Oh, grasshopper. Okay, ready, and you go. You can add a little attitude in there. Tell me your name.
Oh, Kira.
Kira's like, I can't even, I am so uncool. It just doesn't do it for, I wish I could be like you. Hold on, ready? Grasshopper. Ready, what? Okay, ready, here we go, beginning. Ready, and you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper. Yeah, I can do this, but I can't clap it. Here we go. Grasshopper. Okay, now we've got to rest. Correct? Here we go. Beginning, and you go. Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper. Yeah! Grasshopper. Yeah, come on, give me the hands. White women gang signs. Come on, here we go, right? Here we go. One thumb, okay, one thumb. Okay, the next one, TPT, or the butterfly. What do you want to do? Butterfly. Oh, butterfly. Yeah, ready and go. Butterfly. Love it. Ooh, yeah. Go. Butterfly. You're going to love everything. Beginning. Beginning, ready? Here you go, and. Butterfly, and then bug. So it's butterfly. Yeah, bug back there. Beginning, practice again. 1, 2, ready, and you go. And bug. Caterpillar, bug, beetle, baby, that's right. Give him a high five. Yeah. Now, say goodbye. You've got 5 seconds. Find a new partner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. If you can't find a partner, make a group of 3. No biggie. Here we go. I'm going up. Okay, ready? Awesome. Here we go. You could do 3 if you have to. No big deal. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and you go. And bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly. Okay. Can you do it 2 times in a row? Yeah. We'll celebrate then. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and you go. And bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bug. You know what? I gotta tell you, I actually like the what? I think we should do that. We're gonna do that. Okay, go for it. Okay, now. So what you need to do is this. Now you're near one of those sheet protectors, right? Okay, you are going to write for time. We are kind of out of time, but you are going to write a 4-count rhythm pattern, and you're going to create a hand game with your partner with that 4-count pattern. Now let's do this. Let's make groups of 4 or 6, so you have the same notes and the same pattern. And because we are compressed for time, and I would never do this to students, let's see if you can do this in 2 minutes. Go. Go. Okay. This is great. Quick side story. I bought a set of dishes for my kids. Every time their spoon would hit the bowl, it was a pitch. And what is that pitch? Go to the piano was a D. I normalized my own 2 children to D. They could have had any pitch on earth. They now know D. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now you've got your little pattern. You've got your pattern with your group, right? Can you all practice together at the same time? It's 4 counts. Do it 2 times in a row. Stand up or sit down, however you choose. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and you go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, ready, and stop. Great. Stop. Excellent. Let's do it 4 times. 1, 2, 4 times. Ready, go. And. Here it is. Here it is. And yeah. Awesome. Okay, now. Do you remember the first one we did? Okay, that's the A section. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's the A section. Remember the first one we did? So it was, I'm going to hold it right here, baby. Here it is. I'll hold this up for our brains. Do you see what we just pushed ourselves a little bit? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, A section 2 times. Go. Do it again. Now yours, get ready to Ready, your pattern, go. Do it again, 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready and stop. Yes. Great. Yes. I know. Your brain is, it's Saturday morning. It's a little bit harder. Okay, now, when we originally said we were going to do the rhythm and you had started, Melissa, is that correct? You started singing. Melissa, sing. When we had our, this thing, this rhythm, you started to sing it for me. Could you sing it for me?
Caterpillar. Oh, that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you want me just...
Just go, honey. You just make it up.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle,
Oh, that's good so far. Let's do it with her. Ready? 1, 2. She's going to sing it one more time. 1, 2, ready, and you go. And.
bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle.
Ready again, go. And.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle.
Do you have a tune for the last 4 counts now?
Grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
Got the tonic there. Ready? Do that again.
Grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
Good. Let's do the whole thing, Melissa. Ready? And she goes. And.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
Got it? Ready? And you go. And.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
Good. Now, can you do your body percussion with that? Ready? 1, 2. Thank you, Melissa. Ready? Here we go. And.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
And turn to your partners, your own pattern, and you go. And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and ready and stop and freeze. We are on cognitive overload. I feel it. Here we go. Okay, watch. What we'll do is this. We'll all do the A section. And then I'll come up to a group and everyone will watch that group do their pattern 2 times. And you know what? We all know there might be an error. What is an error? It's a chance to do it again. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Ready? 1, bug, caterpillar, bug, 1 time. And then let me just prep you. I'll just start with your group. Ready? Here we go. 1. Isn't that lovely? Here we go. 1, 2, bug, caterpillar, go.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
And here goes the B section. Ready? And they go. And. Ready? A.
Bug, caterpillar, bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
And here they go. 1, 2, ready, B section. Caterpillar.
Bug, beetle, grasshopper, butterfly, bud.
Yes. And then give yourselves a hand right now. Thank you. Okay, have a seat. And we would go group to group to group, and you could compose it on your own line, melodic line. What did I do with that remote? Welcome to my world. My little black. That's classic. Hey, if you see a little remote, oh, there it is. This is me in the classroom too. Okay, here we go. Okay, so basically, what elements of music have we addressed thus far? Oh my God. Rhythm, beat, improvisation, pitch, tempo. Yes, you've got it. Great. So, and what life skills? Yes, we get it, right? So I'm talking to the chorus here. Yes. Compromise, absolutely. Acceptance, yes. Okay. Now, we used our body. The Orff instrumentarium comes in these traditional instruments. I think I want to add a steel drum in there because actually my group is presenting a workshop at the National AOSA conference and we're bringing all of our steel drums. Here's the funny part. I used to play piccolo. I think the universe has gotten back at me because now I have U-Haul trucks to take. It's crazy. So if I were to begin to notate, if we would take that bug, caterpillar bug, we would start on 2 lines. What 2 pitches would you use? Think of where you are developmentally with 3- and 4-year-olds. Yes, exactly. So you could have bug, caterpillar, bug, right? So that they get that concept of high and low and they're writing their own music. And on the sheet protectors, you can see the 2 lines that I put down there. Because then the kids can write it high and low. And I just made that on Microsoft Word. It is the easiest thing on earth to make. Okay, then we would expand to 3, depending on how old the students are, and 4, and eventually 5. But you understand the concept. We went through this entire sequence of that, getting you to compose. Here's the most important part. I'm facilitating the students through dialogue and creative play. What did I let you create? Rhythms from prior knowledge, right? You had knowledge. But I also had you create and pitch. If I was looking at the focus of how do I get them to notate, I would say, okay, you've got 3 levels of body percussion, use 3 lines only. And I'd have them notate the body percussion as well as the melody, because body percussion becomes notated in the Orff process, where this is low, middle, high, so that you then transfer these body percussion skills onto a full staff. So I could teach a melody like this. I could teach a melody using high and low and then put it on the staff, and then they could see that staff directly transfers to the actual 5-line staff. Okay? So, and we improvised and created. Here's the most important sequence of learning for Orff. Recited word for rhythm, syllabication. We did that with the body percussion piece at the very, very beginning. There is a high and low concept, expanding to small range melodies, the minor third, right? Expanding to ostinatos that repeated patterns, to larger melodic range melodies, tunes, and then diatonic tunes. And I would jump. I never just went through one thing, because what about the student who just has a song in her heart from the very beginning and can sing full songs at age 4? Then you run with that child. So it depends on where they are developmentally. But we teach all rhythm through movement and speech, just like you're doing with bug, caterpillar, bug. Unpitched accompaniment, unpitched meaning it is relative high and low, but it's not C or A440. Its unpitched accompaniment precedes pitched, and unchanging drones. A drone is an open fifth prior to melodic ostinati. So I would have before I get them, ba-na-na, da-na-na, right? So a sequence of events to happen. That they make and create music with speech, song, body percussion, melodic, non-melodic percussion, or small percussion, just like we did. The best way to teach is like I just got you just doing it. You just have to do it to grow and become the best musician you can, because it becomes a part of who you are. Like I will probably drive home going, bug, caterpillar, bug. I'm gonna drive home with that melody in my brain. Vertical layers create complexity through complementary rhythms, and melodies create harmony. If we would take the body percussion parts that we started with, and I would throw a score at you as a music teacher and go, here are the parts you have to learn. That was not gonna happen in the amount of time that I had you create it, make up words for it, solidify as your team, and then break out to the larger ensemble. But I did ask you to listen to make something complementary and fill the empty space. So it's very different. The complexity becomes greater with the more vertical aspect of it. And here is Carl Orff. I believe this from any age level. Let the children be the composers. That is his driving premise. How do we make lifelong musicians is mine. And that is how I am guaranteed that my students will always be lifelong musicians. So there we go. It's everything I just walked you through, but very fast. And there was a jam in the middle. But there is your scope and sequence. So here's the great part. Look at this. I just lifted this off the web. Sorry. I hope that's okay. Okay. We learn music to teach music. It's integration. So it's that aspect where you know that the students are going to guarantee their knowledge because you've taught them through sound. That it's play, dance, and sing. It's less talking. I'm not going to tell every kid what to do. I'll let them discover it, ask their friends, and then figure it out, and then come to me and say, what was that? By then, they've already figured it out. Because I think that observation is huge. Movement to explain and apply. So we use movement for rhythm. We did not use movement for high and low today. And the sequence is clear in that rhythm is derivative from speech, that it goes straight into rhythm reading. So there you go. I hope I gave you a quick introduction into Orff. And thank you. Fast and furious, but there's your hour. There you go. Thank you very much. Oh, whatever. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you for being on my roller coaster. Thank you. Okay.